We're live.
We're live!
Hey!
Hey, and we are not just live, we are live on Violet's birthday. Happy birthday, Violet! Woo! Can I get a happy birthday, Violet?
What?
I
From
guess not.
Violet? No? I'm
I guess
so
What?
confused.
It is indeed Violet's actual true birthday.
Today
There we
is
go.
my
The
birthday.
chat has provided a happy birthday, Violet. Now, Violet, I did get some cupcakes. I don't know if you would
Oh,
like to select a cupcake, but if there's one here that looks particularly appetizing,
What the fuck
I
is
will,
happening right now?
I will certainly take that cupcake and eat it in your honor later.
I'll go for that pink one looks nice.
The red velvet one, of course.
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
red velvet.
So
Yeah.
do I. Why did I not get any fucking cupcakes? Nobody sent any cupcakes here.
Let me ask a question there, Rook. This is probably a very delicate and personal question, but I still expect you to answer it on the air for anyone that may happen to tune into our channel.
I'm a very private person. What?
Yeah. Is today your birthday?
It is not.
Then no cupcakes for you. But to be fair, I didn't actually send any cupcakes to Violet either. I just
have to.
Here. Yeah. Well,
what it would taste like if you had that pink red velvet cupcake,
and then tell you what it
Violet,
tasted.
You froze. Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Happy birthday and
happy
goodbye,
birthday,
Violet.
and you froze. Yeah, fuck off. Happy birthday, fuck off.
Can we still hear Violet? Do we have audio on Violet?
I don't know. Clouds, do we have audio on Violet? We definitely don't see you. Copy the link. Do the thing. Cameras.
Welcome to Violet's technical difficulty special. She is right now scrambling to find and eat a cupcake real quick. No. Should we sing? No, they can't hear us either. Shall we sing?
No. We're not singing.
We're not singing?
Especially if she's not even here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, she could watch it back later and see that we sang.
That we were so enthusiastic. No, fuck you, man. You didn't send me any cupcakes. I would have sang if I had a cupcake.
All right. Let me get on DoorDash real quick. DoorDash you a cupcake, and then you better sing. Do we have Violet back? Say something.
Am I here? Maybe. Am I here?
Maybe indeed.
Oh, no.
There's a strong possibility that you're here.
Okay, Cloud says I'm here.
Yay! That's all that matters. As long as Clouds validates, we're good.
Yes.
All right. Now do we sing? Now do we sing?
Oh, no.
We're not fucking singing because I don't have a red velvet cupcake. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that.
I mean,
you have to bring enough for the whole class.
Oh, I did bring enough for the whole class. Y'all,
Violet, we love you. We appreciate you. Happy birthday. I hope that your day was fantastic. We're not fucking singing.
That is completely acceptable.
Damn.
I think that's the most definitive I've ever been on a happy hour ever.
Man, I'll tell you. No singing, no humming. What about a kazoo? Can I go get my kazoo? No, that's banned also.
Who the fuck owns a kazoo? Nope. Creepers. That's who owns a kazoo.
Wow. I feel like you looked through the camera right at me at that point in time. How would you think I would not own a kazoo? That's that's a staple in the musical instrument of the non-musically talented,
How do you all feel about trenching shovels?
Moving on.
Here's the thing. Normally, we would open this show. I would say, happy hour. We would all have a little drink, and I would be like, hey, how's everybody doing? But we're not fucking doing that tonight. Not because I don't care. Well, maybe partly because I don't care. But, I mean, I think instead, it's a very special week. It is Violet's birthday week, but there's also something else going on this week. And I'd like to take a journey with y'all, if you would, just just humor me for several minutes while we go through our nonsense here. And I'd like to go a journey back through time. A little bit of time for some, quite a bit of time for Rook, to when we were children, when we were young, and there was that end of October, the very end, the last day of October, and we would throw on that sheet with the eyes cut out of it, or get this little cardboard box that was supposed to be a television or whatever it was that our parents had helped craft for us. And we would grab a bucket or a pillowcase and go wandering around the neighborhood, and hoping that strangers didn't try and kill us. Back when the world was a safer place, a happier time.
It wasn't, but go ahead.
Oh, it just seemed that way.
Mm.
But Violet, go back to that time and tell me, what was that costume you were wearing?
Oh gosh, I had so many good ones. I do remember once, I want to say it was second grade, I had, it was a long, this will shock you, it was a long black dress with like points at the end and stuff, and I had a black wig that I wore with it. And anytime someone said, "Oh, I love your witch costume," I would say, "It's not a witch, it's an enchantress," because that is what it said on the package when I got it.
I think Chuck was asking you to go back a little bit beyond like yesterday.
Oh,
no!
Damn. Well, you know, look.
She's like, I may have been wearing the dress yesterday, but I wasn't wearing the wig, motherfucker. Shut up.
Now I just dye my hair black. The benefits of being an adult.
11 3/4 months ago is fine. We're just going back somewhere on the journey before we realized that there was more to life than small size candy bars and little bits of
Is there though?
Stuff. I don't know. But yeah, we're getting ready to go out and go, and it's very exciting. There's a lot of excitement, and we're really excited. And we get over to our best friend's house. And Rook, what are you wearing?
Look on your face.
What am I wearing?
Yes, we've gone through this journey where we've dialed back centuries to when you were a child.
Oh God,
What?
that was a long time ago. What am I wearing?
What were you wearing?
Well, God, I don't know.
You can make something up. You could be a Batman costume.
I probably gym shorts and a hoodie. I gotta say,
Yeah,
the only difference between then and now is back then when I was a kid, I was wearing Speedos every day as well because I was a swimmer growing up. But it was still just gym shorts and something else. Like
not
always,
the horrifying
ever. Image
image I was expecting, but the one that I
But the one you didn't want to get.
nonetheless.
The one that you didn't want to get. That's right.
So we have our Speedo, maybe gym shorts wearing person that's probably not really in a costume because I'm not getting dressed up to get my candy.
It wasn't Halloween. It was just another day that I had to go to practice.
There was always one of those in the crowd, wasn't there, Enchantress?
Mm-hmm.
It was never me.
But yeah, we've assembled our group and we're getting to go out. We're going to get our loot. We're going to go all around the neighborhood and Rook. Last year, you remember there was always that one house that last year specifically gave out the full-size candy bars. What was that house?
Ooh. I don't know that any houses in my neighborhood when I was growing up gave out the full-size candy bars, but we would go around.
Imagine you grew up in my neighborhood then.
Okay, well, we would go around in my neighborhood kind of later in the evening. And a large portion of our neighborhood would leave just the candy sitting out on the doorstep.
The honor system.
And
yeah.
so I guess
with
in
children and candy.
in some sort of
Hopefully
way,
candy.
we would go out later so that the little children could have their fun, and then we would just raid.
Clean up.
We didn't use little pumpkin things or baskets or any. We would use pillowcases, and we would just go dump candy into our bags.
Were you never the little child? Did you just spawn as a Speedo wearing scary mid teenage monster?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
The Full Bars house was my house.
Okay.
I don't know how you expect me to remember 30 years ago. That was 7,000 bottles of rum ago.
I expected you to at least just make up some stuff, you know. And
I didn't.
whatever.
No,
Yeah, fine. We'll
told you
roll
the
with
truth.
whatever you got.
Pillowcases and raiding the AFK trick or treat attendees.
I mean, we did costume trick-or-treating always, but of course you used a pillowcase. If you weren't using a pillowcase, you were not serious.
I mean, for sure. I mean, back in my day, it was pillowcases, and there was not another option because I was so old they didn't have like plastic containers, and nobody was taking like the good Tupperware for their children. But at any rate, we go to Violet's house first, so we get the full size candy bars, and you got to go to that one first, and then we start making our way around the neighborhood, and there's always that one house that it's dark. And I mean, not just like the porch light or the front light, they have turned off every light in their house. If they're home, they are sitting in complete darkness because they do not want to be disturbed. And there's always one smaller child like that one right over there that's like, but maybe they do. Let's try anyway. And so begrudgingly you go over there to try. Violet, what was that house?
No, you do not go try that house. You drag that child away from that house because those people are not friendly people.
They are not, but they're probably not going to answer the door anyway, even if you ring 16 times.
I'm not going to that house. You can do what you want.
No. Here's what we do instead. We take that little box of raisins that we got at the house that we probably should not have gotten to, and we just like chuck it at that house. And,
no!
There's a bunch of raisins littering their front yard the next morning, as a message, as a warning. But yeah.
You know what was worse than raisins? You know what was worse than that? Pennies. Did you ever get pennies? Come on, you're just trying to get rid of them. A little envelope with like pennies in it?
No, I have never gotten
a roll with like pennies in there. Yeah.
Nobody wants your dirty old pennies. Do not do that to children.
Is that like a Northeast thing or something? I have never once seen that ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, you didn't get nobody was leaving a bunch of pennies out on the porch for the Speedo wearers to come and grab after the kids were gone.
I will tell you this. I can tell you how we handled those people that darkened their lights on Halloween night.
I can guess.
I mean, we're talking like the children here, not you hood rats.
He was never a child.
Right, exactly.
Never mind. We'll move on.
Are you going to incriminate yourself, and has the statute of limitations passed?
Oh, the statute has definitely passed because I'm an old motherfucker. But yes, I am going to incriminate myself. Those folks, we would wait until the next summer.
Oh, when they weren't expecting it.
Exactly, yes. And
when
then
they had finally picked up the last box of raisins.
In the dead of night, we, as young hood rats, we started by just like pool hopping into people's houses. Are you familiar with the term pool hopping?
Yes.
Yeah, so we would start that way, but in retaliation for other things, we would, not just go off their diving board into their pool in the dead of night, but we would instead throw all of their lawn furniture into their pools, including tables and umbrellas and the like.
Here's the thing.
Other things we might have done in my neighborhood in the dead of night. in retaliation or not, would be
Or just for fun.
throw smoke bombs into unlocked cars. Just toss a smoke bomb in there and close the window and close the door back up.
So basically, what they're saying is you would commit as many crimes as you thought you could get away with,
Just a
whether or
little
not
low-level
they gave
crime.
yeah,
Low
whether or
level
not they gave
crime. Yeah, that's what it. Low level crime is my next character. I think low level crime. I think
whether or
that's his
not
name.
whether or not this was in retaliation for them not participating in the candy ritual, and no way for them to
It probably
associate it.
wasn't. It
No,
probably was just it
Just
was
any other
summer and
slight
they had a
or
pool,
just
or
because
it
they
was
were there.
summer and their doors were unlocked. Yes.
that fits. That tracks. That is definitely a Rook thing. From now on, we will just call that Rooking the Neighborhood. That's our.
Rookie in the neighborhood. That's what we did for sure.
Amazing.
However, we have now finished, and we're still in this time period. It's not time to rook. It's not the middle of the summer. There will be no rooking involved in the rest of this tale. We have gone around to all of the houses, whether that was at the appropriate time or afterwards, to just raid any other things they might have left on the porch. We're now back at home, whether that's at the kitchen table or a crisscross applesauce in the middle of the living room on the oriental rug, and we have upended our bags, and there's a huge mound, larger for Rook after having taken every piece of candy that was available in the neighborhood and some of their lawn furniture as well. And it's all piled up in front of us. And we begin the separation process. Those couple of boxes of raisins that we got after we raisined the one house, and they sort of go off to the side with the pennies and the granola bags,
Pumpkin seeds.
pumpkin seeds.
Another one.
Ooh, pumpkin seeds I have gotten. I've never gotten a granola bag or a penny, but I have gotten a bag of pumpkin seeds, which I would have happily traded for as a child. And I would also have traded for the raisin boxes.
Okay, well, you can have, basically what we're going to end up here is our raisin boxes and pumpkin seeds can be had as long as you take the pennies and the granola and everything.
You have to take the other
well.
stuff too.
It's an all or nothing thing.
Take.
But that's the pile all the way over to the side. We get rid of that. Then next is that little pile for when we actually are desperate, because we're never going to be desperate enough for the raisins. And we're certainly never going to be desperate enough for the pennies. But it's the candy corn pile. We know it's going to be bad, but we're desperate for a sugar fix, and we think maybe it'll be different this time. Is there anything else that went in that candy corn pile, or was that an exclusive pile?
For me, I am not a lover of caramel or peanut butter or many of those other things. So for me, as a child, one, I didn't know that Three Musketeers was just chocolate and chocolate mousse inside, or I would have ate the shit out of those Three Musketeers.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite.
Oh my God, I had no idea. I traded those away because I'm a noob and didn't know. But for me, I would trade a lot of those Reese's Pieces, Snickers, Milky Ways, all of those things. I would push them aside into the candy corn pile, and I would trade those things away for the single wrapped fruity ovals. You all remember those that were
The fruit roll-ups?
What? No, the little hard candies that were oval shaped and fruit flavored,
like Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, some similar to that, right? I would trade away for those types of things, fruity things, M&Ms, Skittles, all of those kinds of things. The plain chocolates and fruity things is what I would trade away for.
What about you, Violet? Is there
See,
anything
we
else?
would be good trading partners because I mean, well, first of all, that I didn't have so much a discard pile. It was about trade because I had two brothers, so it was about trading. It was the three of us dumping out our bags, and then
Trying to
what do we want to trade? And well, but we had different things that we liked,
Sure.
so we could usually manage some reasonable trades. But I was always after.
Was there one of you that liked the candy corn?
Yes. My I believe my younger brother did, but
I'm sorry.
There was always someone who would eat everything. Like nothing was going uneaten.
I mean,
amongst the three of us,
it's true. It's true. But yeah, that's that candy corn pile. There's the pile you don't like, the trading pile, if you will, as you're going through, and then you get to the pile that's like these are good. It's not top tier, but it's good, and you'll probably get through most of those while you're trying to save and extend out that top tier pile. And that's the one that I want to know about. What is in your top 3, top 5? Rook may have already spoiled this because he looked at the notes and jumped ahead. But what's in your top 3? I want to know what the top tier candies are.
This is why I say we'd be good trading partners. Anything with caramel is going to be a top one. Caramel. Things with peanut butter are good, but not anything with nuts, like actual nuts. No, thank you. But mint things like peppermint patties and junior mints, that's top tier. But Three Musketeers was my favorite candy bar as a kid. That was number one. I would try to get every single one from my brothers.
I missed out on so many fucking Three Musketeers. I had no idea that it wasn't just chocolate. I had no idea.
They're great.
Why my mother never told me, I don't know.
Wait. Let's analyze that for a second.
Let's call her right now.
Why would your mother have to tell you rather than you eat one and find out?
Because I didn't like anything that wasn't plain chocolate. So I wasn't about to try anything that was a candy bar I had never had before. But I don't know where my phone is right now. We've got to call her. I don't know how to get her on stream. Let's figure that out real quick.
I think I see the roots of Rook's very black and white mentality. I eat it, or I know what's in there, I can eat it, or I don't know what's in there. I'm not going to eat it.
1,000%. That is, nothing goes in my mouth unless I know what it tastes like.
Fair.
There's a paradox there somewhere. There's like a catch-22 situation where how can you know what if you haven't? I don't know.
Yeah, we're not gonna. The session is not that long. I'm sorry, time's up.
So we can't call my mom, is what you're saying. We have another camera place over here. We can put her in. I don't think she knows how to do that, but
put her on stream.
Voice only. Hello, you're talking.
We need to talk to you
internet
about Three Musketeers bars.
Yes.
We can't talk to her right now. You all will tell her about the pool hopping, and I'll be in trouble 40 years later.
We won't say anything about the pool hopping. We're totally talking about rooking, though. That's
our code word.
Were you aware of your son rooking people in the middle of the night? What does that mean?
I feel like you could easily imagine it being so much worse than it is.
It was pretty bad. I know for a fact that if a kid came and put a smoke bomb in my car tonight, I would shoot the motherfucker if I saw them doing it.
Yeah, that's true. That's like I said, the world is more dangerous now than it was then.
America.
America.
Oh, no.
But I think I'm more on I know I'm more on the Violet way. The peppermint patties, that was right up there. That was fantastic.
We had peppermint patties at House of Ill Repute, right?
Yeah, we did. I was just thinking, I was like, next time we're going to stock up on the Three Musketeers bar.
You know it. That's the whole point of this. I'm trying to figure it out. But the Reese's peanut butter cups, always
peanut butter cups are top tier.
Yeah, we're
that's why we'll take yours. Pass them over. I don't like a lot of fruity candies, so you could have that.
Matter of fact, gonna go back to Old Man Johnson's and get all the raisin boxes back off the floor. You can have
I love
them.
raisins.
We'll trade them.
Raisins are fucking great. I would trade everybody all day long. My Snickers for your raisins. Let's go. I would have
no
raisins
Snickers
for
for
like
me, but-
weeks after Halloween.
That and Rice Krispie treats, marshmallow squares, Rice Krispie treats. Yeah, all day long.
We didn't have. I won't say we had none of those because some people would wrap up Rice Krispie treats every now and then. You know, like a house or two for us in my neighborhood. But we
It's
didn't
dicey,
have.
though.
We didn't have a whole lot of Rice Krispie treat, but Rice Krispie treats are definitely something that I am down for sure.
Yeah.
Clouds, do you know what a Rice Krispie treat is? Do we have Rice Krispie treats in the Europe area? Yes.
I don't know if it's the texture or what. I can't do a Rice Krispie treat. But more importantly, I'm not going to do a homemade wrapped item that someone gives me.
Not anymore. We didn't think about that when I was a youngin.
I did, and it was worse then than it is now. So I don't know about that, sir.
At 10 o'clock at night, every Halloween night, don't take candy that's unwrapped, kids. Oh,
it was never okay.
Oh, you'll die. Oh, there'll be needles in your unwrapped hard candies.
Yeah. No, that's actually a total myth, but like that's never been a thing.
No, that was the thing when I was getting to my teenage years. It was, again, I'm not quite as young as some, but at that point in time, it was the whole razor blade found in candy.
It's not real. That's not real. That's not a real thing.
What the fuck even is that? Who does that? Nobody does that.
There's been like a couple of instances like that, but it was always like a person deliberately doing it to another person that they knew. It wasn't like a random person.
Sure. But that was when the scare went out and suddenly Halloween was canceled and everything was different after that. But before that, in the times of before, you could just go out and walk the nice neighborhood and wave to the people and get stuff. And most likely it wouldn't kill you. I'm still alive, I think.
Well, if you weren't, you wouldn't be here to say one way or the other. So I don't know that that's really evidence of anything. Sorry, I can't abide this kind of nostalgic rewriting of history.
It was.
Did we mention it's Violet's birthday?
It was not any safer back then. I'm just saying we felt safer.
Fair. That's totally fair.
That's the idea. But at the same time, that was when people started with Dungeons and Dragons as devil worship and
Satanic Panic
and play it. And so, you know,
it wasn't any safer back then, but those of us that are still alive are really old, angry people now.
I mean, some of us here are angry. Some of us here are old. Not all of us are old and angry. That's all there is to it.
I don't know. Look, it's my birthday. I don't know.
Happy birthday, Violet.
I mean, I know I am not much younger than Rook. I'm like a few years younger than Rook. I don't know how old Chuck is. But like
he's old as fuck. He's older than both of us.
Put together, I'm older than everybody.
But none of us are that young, is the point I'm getting at.
You know? I'm just saying the 70s were a different time for all of this, okay?
All right.
Anyway.
But I will say...
None of us trick-or-treated in the 70s, but you, Chuck.
Exactly. That's my point.
Close, but not quite. Close, but not quite. But missing one last detail, one of my favorites, at the end of the night, once you've divided up and made your trades and you've got your pile of everything you want and just totally binging on candy and watching The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. That is how you end your night.
Oh, that was like in those teenage, pool hopping years.
In those rookin' years.
In those rookin' years, Treehouse of Horror would come on.
Well,
Gosh, I so remember looking forward to those Treehouse of Horror episodes every single
They're
year.
so good. The older
Every
ones,
year.
they're so good. I still watch them. I still watch them every October. I've been watching them.
Do they still make them, like new ones?
They do still make them. I wouldn't watch the new ones. What? The old ones are still fantastic, though.
That's what we're talking about, MJ. Like, do you feel like you made out like a bandit in those trades, or do you feel in retrospect you got fucked as a kid at grandma's house exchanging candy with your friends?
Don't like the sound of that question. Maybe it's just
This
me.
is a spicy episode of Happy Hour, y'all.
Very special episode.
It's Violet's birthday.
Happy
I'm
birthday,
so
Violet!
tired, and
If MJ was on
I'm
with
still
us-
here, so I'm
If
gonna
MJ
be
was on with us,
cranky.
They would
Let's
be
do it.
singing. That's all I know. But yeah, no, I did. I was not a House of Horrors thing, but my more recently, my holiday viewing is more Over the Garden Wall. That's
yes.
that's like
Yes.
the fall.
That's an October
Halloween.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well,
I actually went into a toy store earlier today, and they were playing music from Over the Garden Wall, which I thought was very cute, very seasonal.
yeah,
And yes, I
I'm-
went into a toy store to buy myself a toy for my birthday because I
All
do that
right.
sort of thing. Because you can when you're an adult.
Sure.
I just want to say, before we did that thing with Meadow and the Over the Garden Wall, like when she told us to watch that, I started it and I did not stop until it was done. I have never seen it before until this year, and holy shit, it was amazing. Like, it was so good.
We should do a
Awesome.
watch on that. We
Wait,
should.
I shouldn't say that because that was a positive thing, and I'm not allowed to be
that's right.
positive in happy hour.
We don't
Over the
want you
Garden
breaking
Wall
your
sucked.
rookin' character. But,
It was so amazing. Like, it was so good.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now I'm old man Johnson with the lights off in my front yard, doors barred, and sitting there watching Over the Garden Wall. You know.
Oh, I wish we got trick-or-treaters where I live. We don't. I just live too close to like a downtown area. There's just like not they don't do it like that, or they'll do trick-or-treating like in the stores downtown. But like my dream is to be able to dress up and like give out candy at the door, like in costume, and to be able to just like chill at home, watch horror movies and stuff, but like still like dress up and give out candy at the door to trick-or-treaters, because you feel like you're part of the holiday, but also it's just like chill evening at home. That's the dream, but we don't get trick-or-treaters here, so
We
maybe someday.
Is that a birthday wish? Did you need to light out a candle? You're not supposed to.
I didn't do
before you
candles
go.
yet. I didn't do candles
Okay.
yet, so we'll see.
So clearly, Maze and Jackson do not do trick-or-treaters. However, that being said, we have prepared every year that we've been living here for trick-or-treaters, and we have yet to find one. So,
Y'all
not
need to
one,
come.
not a single
here.
knock on the door.
Just come to my place. Y'all come here, and you can have all of the trick or treating nonsense you want from 10 billion little ones in their store bought costumes that half of them are now not even like Superman or Batman, but vigilante crime fighting man bought at Spirit of Halloween.
The last time I was at your house, Chuck, there was a block party in the middle of the night.
That could have been any night.
It was definitely different.
Yes. Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yeah. Welcome to life in the city.
Yeah, life in the city is different than life out here in Hickville. So that's for sure.
Yes. All right. Well, as mentioned, as I've pre-warned and foretold everybody, the nonsense was going to go a little long this week, but we still have time for a little
We've got something to talk about.
TTRPG discussion. Rook, this is your
What's your
topic.
favorite topic?
Yeah, this is
I
the
am
one
so
that you
ready
asked
for this shit. Y'all ready to hear about how much I hate some shit? It is coming up.
I'm just gonna
Transition,
sit back with
bitches.
my,
Let's go.
We don't need no transition. We're just gonna rook it.
That's right. Throw that shit
gonna-
right in the pool.
I'm gonna sit back with my adult beverage here and listen to Rook talk about enchantment and charm in your TTRPGs. Please go full screen on yourself.
Shit, I wasn't prepared for that. I don't think I can do that. Let me. No, I'm not going to do all that. Oh, it's Violet's birthday. Happy birthday, Violet.
Do we have a timer on that every so often?
Well,
actually, we do. I mean, it's one of the slides. I don't know if you're looking.
I'm not
but
looking.
it does come up
it comes
so
up
often.
every 2 minutes, 3 minutes roughly. It
Oh,
comes up
geez.
Happy birthday, Violet. So if you want to watch for that, you can go ahead and ignore me while I rant about enchant charm spells.
I have heard this
in
rant. So.
D&D.
so many times.
No, I don't really want to drive the narrative here, but I will just say that there was a time in my life where I thought that spells like Suggestion and Charm Person and those enchantment spells were super cool and some of my favorite spells, and that totally changed a couple years ago, and now I cannot put them on my character sheet ever at all.
Hold on 1 second. Violet, the slide.
I minimized the window. I can't see it now.
It's a frowning balloon
Look,
that says
I
Happy
have-
Birthday, Violet.
Sorry, I have limited attention. I have to look at one thing.
What's that? Squirrel?
I've literally done that many times. But anyway, we're talking about enchantment.
Back to our rant already in progress.
Yeah, so like for real, it doesn't matter if your charm spell is, hey, little guard guy, walk down the left-hand side of the street instead of the right-hand side of the street. It's fucking wrong. Like, just mince that motherfucker with a great axe. Do not.
That's not wrong.
That's not wrong. That's more right than telling that motherfucker to do something that he didn't want to do. Like taking away someone else's agency, their ability to free think is the most horrible and heinous thing that you can do in a D&D game. Even if that suggestion spell is something as subtle as, hey, telling a guard, hey, leave your post for a few minutes, go take a break, go use the bathroom so that you can sneak in. What are the repercussions of that? The real repercussions of that is that guy loses his job because you snuck into the castle and murdered somebody or did whatever you did because you're a D&D person, so you're obviously just killing people everywhere. And so that guy loses his job, and then his family starves to death, and they die, all because you told him to go use the bathroom. Like, every spell that takes away someone's free will is a hard pass for me forever and ever.
See, I'm on board for most of that. I will say this particular example of the guard who you tell to leave their post, that consequence can happen however you proceed with that mission that you have, regardless of whether you're...
It's better. It's more merciful.
But I'm just saying, as opposed to if you just like stealth by him, if you created a distraction, something that doesn't involve enchantment, still this could have the same result. So it's not necessarily associated with using the enchantment spell. You know what I mean? I think that's more of a question of how in-game you deal with NPCs who are not actually your enemy, but are just kind of in your way.
You may have just convinced me to never make a stealthing character again and just lynch people from now on, ever. Just kill them. It's the most merciful way.
Better they be dead than suffer literally any other consequence. I don't know if I can follow that logic, but I am on board with the concept of like taking away someone's agency is a lot more serious than it is usually treated in the game. And so, yeah, it's very, very easy for enchantment spells to get like real messy real fast. And also because different people can have very different feelings about that, I think enchantment spells need to be treated with caution. Both like in the game context, but especially from a player perspective and thinking about how other players feel about their characters and that sort of thing, and like being aware of, you know, lines and veils and things like that, and what people are comfortable with, because yeah, it can get into dicey territory very easily and very quickly.
Agreed. I mean, I think when you're talking lines and veils at your table, I think that's a subject that should come up as well. I know the standard form that's used by a lot of folk doesn't really cover enchantment spells, charm spells, but you're messing with people's minds and free agency. You may be messing with their memories. And also, I believe it's fair for anything that you do as a player to be available to the DM to do to your players. So, yeah, great. It's a lot of fun. We can mess with the mind of this NPC to do something. Less fun when the player character agency is subverted for reasons. And it's not a hard, I'm not on the rook scale of things where everything is black and white and it's either we absolutely use them in all circumstances or we never use them at all. I think it is something that you need to discuss at the table, and it should be, and I think it should be brought up before more one shots happen, especially pay for play one shots on whatever service you're using. But hey, I just want to play a game today, and we're getting into this, especially with the role play heavy scenario, and you're talking things at the beginning, hey, lines and veils and stuff like that. I think charm spells and player character agency.
Ooh, Chuck just froze for me. He's gone.
Yep. Also,
Should be whatever level
and
the
he's
game
back.
is going to happen.
Happy birthday, Violet.
Did we lose me? Am I not on the stream now?
We lost
I
you for
see
like
you
20
now.
seconds.
Yeah, I mean, you never moved anywhere, Rook, but Violet blinked out for a second and then came back. So, you know, I blame that on Rook type shenanigans. Someone is rooking
It's
with our system.
clearly my fault.
Everything is rooking now.
Yes. Yes,
Get rooked, bitches.
That should be a shirt.
Maybe soon. But you've been rooked. But the point being that I think these are long staples of the system. Like I can't remember the second edition.
Every edition has had this suggestion spell,
suggestion,
right?
Yeah, one or two, right? Yeah.
More importantly, one of the longest term characters I've ever played was a noblewoman named Tiffany Bond Bradley that had a second edition spell called Seduce. And that spell actually went up in levels. Like you could continue to take it, Seduce 2, Seduce 3, Seduce 4, whatever, right? And it would give a minus to the saving throw for every additional level that you had of it, and it would use the suggestion spell, but with or the charm spell, but with a romantic bend towards your character, right? Like that was kind of the nature of the spell. And it was one of my staple spells that I played for years and years and years. And even Chuck, when you and I met, I invited you into a game where I was playing a character that was playing a warlock with a lot of enchant charm spells, and a specific situation happened in another game that you and I played together, and over the course of the rest of that game that we were playing together, I eliminated all those spells and turned my warlock into a blaster because of what happened in another game. And I am not and will never be comfortable playing with those spells ever again.
Yeah, I mean, just turning agency. I mean, I think it can be a very dramatic thing if it's taken seriously by the table, by the players. For example, you and I, Rook, were in a yet another game where we were mind erased and we didn't know what had happened for 6 months and broke out of that. And half of the table was like, this is like super serious and we want to talk about this stuff and have it affect, and it was a very dramatic thing. And the other half of the table was, oh no, it's over and done, let's just talk about what goodies we get out of this and move on. And it was like, okay, I think we're in very different places here on where and how we want to role
Yeah,
play.
we just lost 6 months of our life. What the fuck just happened, and what did we do in that time? Like, this isn't cool at all.
Right. And I think it's, as players, you need to talk about that before it happens and before you go into it, because I think it can be very drastic for the table on how you want to deal with these sort of things and set a lot of different tenor, especially if it's a campaign sort of thing. But especially, you don't know what people have going on in their personal lives, where things and situation and people have had things done to them, not specifically mind control, but things that affected their thought patterns and thought processes, or a loved one's thought processes and patterns. And again, that's what lines and veils are for and about, to not have to deal with things. But I think there should be more care taken with it than, hey, it's just a funny spell, we're going to make somebody do what they don't want to do. And I think there should be more addressed with it.
And without rehashing the whole incident that changed my mind on the topic, let's just throw it to chat and ask the question, right? Like, we were in a situation, nobody had concerns with lines and veils or red cards on any of these topics. We knew that we were in an adventure that we were in, but there's a birthday party. There's a little girl having a birthday
Not
party.
Violet's birthday party.
Yeah, no, it's not Violet's, but happy birthday, Violet. Did you know it was your birthday? Happy birthday,
thanks.
the way.
Thank you for reminding me. Thanks.
Happy birthday. We hope that you had a very special day. Little girl having a birthday party. Little boy kind of has a little crush on the little girl. We're talking 10, 11-year-olds here, little boy has a little crush on the girl. Party comes across a love potion, and the topic is brought up. Hey, maybe we should give this girl the love potion so the little boy can dance with her and maybe give her a kiss on the cheek or something like that, right? No harm, no foul, right? Like, the whole thing is as innocent as innocent can be, except it's not at all. It's not at all. It's not at all.
I mean, I'm interested to see when the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide comes out and we have a list of magic items. If Filter of Love is still one of the items that are in there.
Yeah. I strongly hope not.
As do I. This incident that we were talking about in this game, the DM introduced this at a shop. Oh yeah, you can buy these. We were looking for things to bring as a gift for this party because we were uninvited, essentially. So we thought we should have a gift, and they were like, "Oh, we've got this, and we've got a Filter of Love." Now I don't know if they rolled that on a table or where they came up with that, but the other young ladies who were at the table were very much, a Disney sort of thing. Maybe we're supposed to bring these two together. Maybe that's this quest that we're on. And there were questions raised after that, about, hey, serious. Let's stop the session basically and talk about some more serious implications of what's going on here. And it can definitely be seen from an innocent perspective in days of yore, but I think now that we are no longer in the 1970s going trick-or-treating, we need to take these topics a little more seriously, and I hope that they have as well when they are reviewing what magic items are and what should or shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah, I'm sure no one was getting drugged in the 70s. No one even thought about that then, right? That was totally not an issue back then.
I said like trick-or-treating in the 70s, not like rooking in the 70s. Come on.
But no, I mean, Rook is our resident black and white all or nothing perspective, and if all enchantment is not okay, then no enchantment is okay. Yeah, but even if you take a more sort of nuanced view of this, Filter of Love is so problematic. It's like it is the extreme end of this, like more than any other like enchantment spell, because a lot of enchantment spells, and this doesn't excuse necessarily what they do, but a lot of them do have some attempt to say, like, within reason, or like a person won't do harm to themselves or something like that. Whereas the Filter of Love specifically says in the text that they treat the other person as like their true love, which is like such an intense thing to put on someone and like can have so many unintended and unexpected consequences as a result of it. It's such a weird item, and it's super creepy, and they should get rid of it for sure.
It's just the far end of the spectrum in the whole thing. Like, where do you say this is okay and this is not?
Yeah, it's not an easy call to make.
Tell the shopkeeper to maybe give you a discount, or is it not okay? Like, it's so bad no matter where you are on that spectrum.
I hate to be the one to break it to you, Rook, but everything in life is a spectrum of how good or how bad is this. How bad is it for me to bash this person in the face with an axe?
Well, you mince them with an axe, and it's straight up. It's okay. It's D&D.
Why is that okay?
Yes. It is better for me to mince the shopkeeper with an axe than it is to convince them to let me steal from them.
Is it better?
But, okay, just to put it out there, though, because I feel like a lot of the examples we've been throwing out are like examples that it's like, yeah, I can see that being a problem. But I've never used a lot of enchantment spells in general. Like, it's just not the kind of casters I tend to play. But most of what I would use is about like de-escalating hostile situations, like using different types of enchantment to like calm emotions, or like a command to get someone to drop their weapons or to flee a fight or something like that. Things that de-escalate a hostile situation. And like, to me, that's the other end of the spectrum. And like, if you're still not cool with that, that's fine. I get it. But like, that's the other end of the spectrum, I think, from something like Filter of Love. The other end of the spectrum
is hold person to mince them with an axe, right? Like, that's an enchant charm spell that maybe is okay, but only because you can crit them and mince them with an axe and kill them.
It's all a spectrum of what is good or what is not. Like, it's better to just have a discussion and try and convince the shopkeeper to do what it is, or let you, or give you that discount, or do whatever it is. It's not as good to chop that shopkeeper's hand off to try and convince them that they should give you
I feel like that just wouldn't be effective. Like, I don't think that's a good way to convince someone.
No, I mean, it's an arm and a leg for a discount. That's what it is. But and then it's absolutely no good to charm them into giving you that discount.
Using your persuasion roll, and we are about 30 seconds from ads, so I don't know about the rest of you, but I am going to go get more rum and Coke. So we will continue this discussion here in a couple minutes, but we'll leave it.
Put a stat. We'll return for the rest of this thought after these messages.
Oh God, I'll never have it after these 3 minutes.
Messages.
I'll be back.
We'll have more birthday cake.
Happy birthday, Violet. By the way, happy birthday. Did you know it was your birthday?
I didn't. Oh, jeez.
We are in ads now. I'm going to go grab a drink real quick.
Taking us to break?
No, I'm not taking us to break. Oh. We're still live.
Why did you not take us to a break?
We don't even have a break on the happy hour. We don't even have that. You want me to take us to the trailer? I can throw the trailer out real quick.
Throw the trailer up.
Hey, if you all would like to see some first looks at the House of Ill Repute, we'll be back in a few minutes, and I have to mute myself or something. You'll hear me getting up. See you, bye.
Purple worm-like creature.
And they come across a goblin that is charging them.
When she sees it start to lift up on here.
Watching him and doing all that. He's a fantastic player, good guy, all that stuff.
I don't know what they were talking about, but we're back and we're live.
We are live on Happy Hour. And we are having some non-happy discussion.
We have 1 minute left on break. Ads, by the way.
Why did you say you're the worst?
What? Huh?
You're like, we're back, and I think we're back, but you're like, we're back, but we're not back. But you didn't say we're back.
Everyone can see us. Everyone can see us, guys.
I don't even know what that means. It says here in this big green block, ad break in progress.
It's always lying. It's inconsistent. I don't know why.
Can you see us and an ad? I'm just curious.
Yeah, is it one of those sidebar ads, maybe? They've been doing that.
What's a sidebar ad?
That's where the whole thing gets smaller and you get the ad in the side and then
I'm
it gets
familiar
bigger.
with what it is. It was
But no. Well, whatever. The point is, we're on. So
the point is we don't have.
The point is I got more rum and Coke, y'all.
Put down your Coke, put down your rum, roll up your sleeves, and let's get back into the black and white discussion on why there should be no enchantment or charm spells ever used at your table. Rook, continue with that thought you have completely forgotten.
Absolutely. However, where were we on my thought? Because I did completely forget it.
It's totally fine and completely ethical and appropriate to axe murder everyone you meet.
Yes. Totally different.
Thank you, Barbara.
In D&D.
We're clipping that. We are totally clipping just that.
And real life. Don't manipulate people. Just kill them if you don't like them.
If you have to do something, Just a nice straightforward murder.
So, MJ, it's a great question, right? What about the calm emotion spell? We're just trying to
That's what I was talking about,
de-escalate.
yeah, before this.
And Violet was talking about de-escalation beforehand. Like, at the end of the day, is it okay to manipulate someone's free will to in the I don't know, the heroic moment of stopping me from mincing them with my great axe? Is that okay? Because the answer is no. If someone loses control of their mental faculties, and someone else subverts control over it, it's never okay. Whether it's the command spell in a brief instant, or a charm spell, or a friend's cantrip in the most menial of ways, it's never okay. It's always wrong.
What if you were to grapple somebody? Is that okay?
Yes, because then you could mince them.
I think the point being, like, the difference between taking away their agency by bodily restraining them versus using magic, like, where's the line there?
The line is magic in Rook's mind, and it's fine. It's a valid perspective. I'm not saying that that perspective is wrong, because I also know Rook, and I know he's not the type of person to come to a table at a session 0 and say, these are my personal beliefs. I don't like the way this spell is ever used. I don't like the use of any of these spells.
Maze
You're
is
not allowed
pissed.
to use them. Right? That's the that's the thing, and I think it's fine if you have stuff, and if you say I'm not putting these spells on any of my characters, and I would like to at the session 0 just have a talk that my feelings are not. You should probably mute before you yell like that. But the point
They
being,
couldn't hear me, only you.
yeah, I certainly heard you. The discussion about that at a session 0 and saying, hey, it's okay if you use them. I'm not a big fan of loss of personal control. I'd like to minimize that in this session wherever possible. I'm just like somebody else can come in and say, hey, I'm not a big fan of hurting people. I'm a pacifist by nature, and I'd like us to minimize the use of violence at this game and in this table. And sure, some other people may be there, and there may be like the discussion, well, maybe this isn't the table for you then. The description clearly said you were going to need to violence in this campaign, right?
Whereas there are totally games where, I mean, while Beyond the Witchlight was designed this way, that's a campaign. You can play the whole campaign without violence if you choose to. Like, every encounter is designed that it has other ways it can be resolved. So there are absolutely people who run games that are not necessarily violent games if the players choose not to do that.
I would never walk into a session 0 and tell someone how they can or cannot play their character. However, I 1000% after that same session 0, if we were sitting around this table right now and giveaway alert, Road to 1000 Friends, cast the suggestion spell, my character would 100% say to the other 3 of us in this chat, I would say, yo, this was not cool, and this is why. And I would absolutely raise this discussion up at a later time. Now, would I do it to the extent that I am black and white? No, you should never do it. No, it's not okay. Now I'm going to mince you with my great axe. No, I would not do that, because that is an inappropriate way to handle things, especially if I didn't address it in that session 0. However, I think it's an interesting and valid topic to bring up in your session 0 chats, right? Like, to bring up and say, hey, this is not cool.
Yeah, I think to me, that's the bottom line here, is regardless of where you fall in like how much of this you personally feel like is acceptable or unacceptable, or how much you're comfortable doing with your character. I think the real bottom line sort of takeaway is to just be more thoughtful about how enchantment is used in games, and like understand that idea that, you know, how it's used, like whether it's in all situations or just certain situations, certain spells, certain contexts, like it can be viewed, even if you don't necessarily see that way, it can be viewed as robbing a person of their agency, and it can be something that can be really unpleasant and difficult for a lot of people. So just to be like aware of that and have conversations about it at the table, be thoughtful about how you use spells like that, if you, especially if you haven't had those conversations yet, you know, just to be more cognizant of it, I think is really the biggest takeaway to me.
Yeah, and
Oh.
and be aware that, and look, that may be a crossing point at a table. It's okay to have played 6 months, a year, 5 years at a table, and then somebody does something in character and you're not comfortable with it. Have that discussion, and if it means that this isn't the right table for you, then you can walk away from that table, and it's okay. Because at the end of the day, we're playing a game to have fun and for everybody to be comfortable, and people's lives change. I mean, I think it's a good
Mhm.
idea to revisit every
Yes.
6 months or so, revisit lines and veils, because there may be certain things that go off the table because developments in people's personal lives. And if you need to change or you need to step away from a table for that, it's fine. It's good. Finding the right table for you is the most
Mhm.
important thing at the game. You're not going to have fun if it's not at the right table for you. So we find the right table, be willing to walk away. We're not at the point anymore where there's only 2 games available, or maybe only 1 game available in your area among your friends, and it's either that or nothing. There's 500 games a day being offered on various services via the internet, or at game stores around you, or meetups around you. You can find a game if you want, and the most important thing is to find the game that plays the way you want to play, and you can have fun playing it. And if that means no enchantment magic, that means no enchantment magic. If that means no violence, then no violence. You know, whatever it means to you, and be
Mince them
respectful.
with the battle axe anyway.
Oh no.
If that means that that we can't play together at Rook, if I want to cast command or certain spells, and I think it's more the long term attitude. I think even a black and white person would be fine with an occasional spell here or there, but doing it a lot with a main list of spells, and doing it without the DM then introducing any ramifications, right? I mean, I think that's an
Mhm.
extreme key there. Don't get me wrong, Filter of Love needs to be removed from the game completely,
That's
but
too far by anyone's measure, that item.
As much as the seduce spell was removed from the game from second
Mhm.
to third edition, right?
It
Like
was also a really sexist spell, but okay. But yeah.
it
As I recall, I
specifically
think it specifically worked on men. Like it
correct.
targeted men
It
and was
it could
used
only
by
target men. That's
women.
correct.
Yeah.
100%. And I used it as a child, or as a young adult. I used it for years and years and years. And I had seduce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there you go. However, um, in retrospect, like it's just not cool, right?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
even
Not.
it's whatever it is. However, I think that the takeaway from this happy hour and a half is that boundaries need to be set for things that you're okay with and comfortable with. And if you're not okay with murder hobo, then you don't play with Rook, because that's what Rook is about. Um, but if somebody else at your table is doing things that you're uncomfortable with, regardless of what it is, talk about it. Talk about it.
yeah, that is the key right there. And talk about it does not just apply to this. It applies to who's bringing the wrong snacks, or who hasn't bathed properly before they come to session. Whatever
Also,
the
if you
thing
don't
is.
bathe properly before you go to a live D&D session, fuck you. Like, don't stink. Nobody wants to smell you.
I think that was my point.
That's a
without
black
being-
and white world. Don't stink.
Yes. But talk to that person about it. Don't just stop inviting them, change the
Right.
location, and not tell them where. Communicate to them.
You just move and don't tell them.
It's been done before. We're no longer meeting at the Taco Bell, everybody. Don't tell Stinky.
Why did you say? You know that my first D&D experiences were at the Taco Bell, right?
Yes, that was why that was used, sir. Go back to our very first happy hour, and you
God,
too can
that
learn
was
why Taco
112
Bell should be sponsoring this show.
bottles of rum ago.
But yeah, the communicate whatever your problems or issues are, and the don't be afraid to say the things that will get other people upset, because you're just going to get yourself more upset, and they're not going to know they're upsetting you, right? That's the whole thing. Whatever it is, if it's enchantment spells, then talk about what enchantment spells mean to you and have that discussion with you at the table. And again, maybe the DM can build an arc about that, and you could explore those things in character. And maybe that character, rather than just swapping out their whole spell list without explaining, goes through some form of epiphany and has an experience because stuff was done to the party, and you do it in character and express it along the way. There's a lot of ways to tell that story.
I do want to answer MJ's question in chat. I agree with you. I think that Vicious Mockery is not a spell that manipulates someone in a way that I, in my black and white world, would find offensive. In the same way that I think that Hold Person, an enchant charm spell, Hypnotic Pattern, an enchant charm spell, those spells are different than. Oh my. I don't know if y'all just got muted because May's just pushed the space bar in a way that she literally just looked down and reached down and pushed
She
the
was like,
buttons on my
no.
keyboard. She was like, this. Pay attention to me now, Daddy. I think that things that do very direct and confrontational things in the enchant charm way are different than things that subvert someone's will. And crazily enough, I think that illusion magic and tricking someone's mind is not as heinous a crime as subverting their will. So I don't know what that means. Those
I mean,
are
I can
all
see
just
that.
things. Those are all just things that are in my own head and my own lines that I personally draw and say I will never do. However,
Very
if
black
Chuck,
and white world.
if Chuck wants to use suggestion over and over again with a character in a game that we're playing in, like until it becomes something that I personally find offensive, my character's not going to tell them no. Like, I'm not going to take away that player's game agency and fun because of my own personal beliefs on those things. However, once it starts to infringe on those beliefs, then I'm very likely to say things because every one of my characters is lawful always.
But what does lawful mean to you? That is a
No, don't
topic
get into that,
for
please.
another time or
That's too
another
much.
happy hour. But yeah, Rook's very black and white world is surprisingly gray when it comes to the definition of what these spells are. It's not by the school or necessarily as written. It's things that take away your agency, which is fine. I mean, it's similar. We had a discussion before about healing magic, and we were talking divine magic being outlawed in this area, and there was question of, but healing is not a divine, it's not on the divine list, and it's not what it actually is, but what it means to the people in world. And this is what things mean to Rook, whether they are enchantment or charm or listed that way or not. It's things that subvert your free will in a very specific way, because hypnotic pattern subverts your free will to move, but that's okay. You know, it's your
Yeah, but I can still mince you with the great axe, which is fantastic.
not while you're hypnotized.
Yeah, but while you're hypnotized, I can definitely mince you with a great axe.
You're feeling sleepy, very sleepy. Never mind this great axe coming at you.
Never mind this thing in your chest.
It's definitely fine. Don't even worry about it.
No.
Calm emotions as I'm mincing you with my axe.
Oh
Well,
no, that's
calm
not
emotions, that's
that's
a very
not allowed.
specific-
It's not okay for you to make them believe it's okay for me to hit them with an axe.
Oh, no.
Calm emotions is very specific wording in there that you can't make them feel okay.
Yes,
about it.
I know
And
that. I know how this spell works, Chuck. I'm just making a joke.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'll give you that one. It's your birthday and all. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Violet.
Oh,
Did
is it?
everybody
Oh,
know it was
great.
Violet's birthday?
Oh my. But yeah, I don't know if there's any more on that topic.
I think we've covered it.
Yes, covered it very well. I would like to then move on to an announcement. Announcements. We have a very thrilling announcement. We have our first giveaway winner. Bum, bum, bum. And it's going to get your choice of t-shirt in your choice of size, whether it is the hit points are not required to ellipses t-shirt, or whether it's the Goblin Noggin t-shirt, or even the Rook Vellum Saga of Rook's Lawn t-shirt.
I love it.
You choose your shirt.
Stand
size.
up. Let us see it. We want to see
I
it even
stand up,
more.
If I stand up, you won't see it because it will be off camera. That's how cameras work. At any rate, that winner, and I have in the envelope right here with no envelope, it is username A Cat Production or Product Show. I was only given an O on the end of that, so I don't know. But cat with a K, A Cat Product Show, maybe, from our TikTok follower. Congratulations. Reach out on TikTok. We will find out all your details, get a shirt created. I will personally make a shirt just for you and get it sent off via the some form of postal service, and you will look all swanky when you wear it.
I'm jealous. I don't have any of these shirts yet.
Well, maybe for your birthday you can get a shirt. We'll make something for you. Maybe.
Only a Rook's Lawn shirt though. That's all we can afford.
That's
send
fine.
Anyway.
That's totally fine.
But yes, that is our. I believe that is our show today. Welcome to the bar. Anybody new that has not been here before, and we do have somebody drinking on the house. That is the maker of all candies that are not candy corn. If you make candy in any fashion, please come on in anytime. Doors always open, and you drink on the house. Bum, bum, bum. Drank on the house.
Drank. Past tense.
Mine's not empty.
Did not get the
Your second one's not empty.
refill. Exactly. Refill not on the house. The
The house has a budget.
It's just one drink only.
The house has a budget, folks.
With that, if you have not yet seen it, please jump over to watch our actual play from last week with our birthday girl as a DM for the first time on stream ever.
What?
Did a fantastic job. It was amazing.
I did a wonderful job just staying quiet and letting you all cause chaos.
Alex
best
stood
things a
back
DM
and
can
said,
do.
"Y'all on a lifeboat, kill each other."
Many other DMs can learn from that when to shut the fuck up. That's very important for a DM to know.
Can you say that one more time?
Shut the fuck up.
You didn't add the DM part in it, but okay.
So more all-purpose clip there.
I wasn't talking
More
to the
versatile.
DM at that point in time.
Oh, I get it now.
Oh no.
with that, we bid you adieu. Good night. Happy Halloweening. For those of you going rooking, we won't tell. And remember, hit points are not required to have a tasty beverage.
Or a birthday.
Or happy birthday, Violet.